me like other ones have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went through the portal. If you're looking for it.
I've seen that man before.
Hi.
He stands with the sky in the sunset falls at his knees. I've seen the peace, the light in eyes, and he said it's gonna be alright, alright.
Got it.
Faster.
Alt shift.
Alt shift to run faster. I didn't know that.
I think
That's
so.
a good
Yeah, I
color
think
for
so.
you. Jail.
Okay. Yes.
This is a weird thing.
I'm just gonna take my time. I go upstairs. I go upstairs.
I don't know what this is.
I like it, man. That's
Oh, there goes mine.
yeah, it's fucking great.
Oh, I know.
This is gonna be a really
People
fun
wanna make a
topic.
circle around, like if people want to get by the fire, or yeah, just make a circle.
Sheep squeep.
Hello, yellow.
I can't remember how to do that. Was that it? And my mouth open?
And Ghoster, if you can get like
Hello.
No,
my mic muted.
capture
What's up?
from the circle, you know what I'm saying? Like zoom away or behind us or above or whatever, you know, like capture circle. If it's I know it's hard on
Not a good topic for me.
Oh, that's like a fox. That was really cool.
Try and go deep, bro. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, let me.
Alright, so Ghoster is gonna let us know when he's ready. We're just gonna wait a couple, like a minute or so more for everyone to get
You
here.
guys can sit down if you want to. I just can't because I'm in full body.
You just want
I think
to
I'll
get in a
just stay.
circle, like we can just.
I'm
go
gonna
into a
stand.
circle.
How come you can't sit down? We're in full body track.
You'll see.
It's different when you
Oh yeah, how do we ask the questions and shit like that? We just with the exclamation point, right?
Wait, it's better.
Oh yeah, here.
Yes,
What's this?
yes, it's
Okay.
gonna be the
that
emoji that's the
question.
exclamation point.
That one, right?
You have something to say.
I think this is
Yeah.
to represent that.
So easy.
Exactly.
It's a ghost that's on fire.
Alright, let me just get the show notes.
Apparently there's this like
Okay, I'm gonna invest into a tracking now. I'm gonna invest in.
animal
With the money.
in Norway.
It is worth it, but I want to get a deluxe audio strap for the Vive first.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I think it's like
Interesting.
everybody keeps burning it down,
Give
and
yourself.
you're not supposed to do that. I think it's probably maybe a reference.
Oh yeah, that would be like oh boy.
Hey Ghoster, let us know when you're ready.
Weird out of the way reference.
You ready? Alright.
Let me hit my mute.
Wait, hold on, wait. Okay, yeah, just go live, yeah.
Hello. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Yay! Hello everyone. Welcome to Endgame. We need someone to announce a topic, so does anyone want to announce the topic? I know we're...
Okay.
Wait, come closer to... Come forward more.
the cheeks
Like,
doesn't
so
move.
right
Okay.
here. Yeah.
So,
More. Yeah.
is that all right? Welcome
Sure.
everybody to Endgame. Very happy to see you here. Topic, since it's this time of year, is to called Coming Home for the Holidays, but it's really talking about all of the emotions and relationships and things that pop up during this time when people get together, and there are different ways of celebrating and different things that happen during the holidays, and so this is sort of a way to kind of open it up and discuss it with each other. And for those of you who may not know, I am Sykes' mom, and I also have a cold. So you're hearing me with my voice about 2 octaves lower than usual. But I thought here we have a part of the family, you know, actually in VR to
Yes.
talk about these issues. So.
Yeah, and also coming home to the family is often like an intense time and a lot of emotions, and a lot of different emotions are strengthened, I feel like, because it's like people we've known for our whole lives. So, yeah. Yeah. Hey,
Okay,
Eve, you
okay.
need to come to the corner of the. Like, come
I
forward.
don't
Keep coming
have a
forward.
set. Okay.
I know. Just keep coming forward.
Is this
Just keep
better?
going. Yep. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I guess we can talk about. I
So
don't know, where do you want to start?
yeah, well, no, so Syke and I were kind of brainstorming about some issues that might come up, but it sounds like some of you already have things you might want to say on the topic. So maybe we ought to start with people sharing some of their thoughts on this topic. I thought I heard someone say that. Does anyone want to kick it off? Or? Okay, we can talk a little bit about so when people go home, and we're just sort of, as I said, kind of brainstorming. When people go home for the holidays, you know, these are the people that know your past really well, and you have relationships with them that go back, obviously, a long time. And it can be a very comforting thing, but it can also be sort of stressful. And so there are a whole lot of issues around that. And so we were kind of talking about what some of those issues are. But first of all, how many people, how do we indicate that they...
Oh, yeah. Thumbs up and thumbs down emojis. So don't do it yet. Just wait till we, like, ask the question, and then everybody can do it at once, I guess. Yeah. But you can go to your emoji.
Yeah, so thumbs up for the people who actually have gone to where their families live, where they're gathering in the same space. Okay. So a fair number of you.
Yeah. You do thumbs up and thumbs down. If not, yeah. So, interesting. I guess yeah, how many, and would people say that it's mostly been, so I know that, actually, Eve, I mean, I know that, like, your family going home wasn't something that happened for you. I don't know if you wanted to, because it can't be, it can sometimes be negative as well.
Yeah, and I don't think it just, you know, I don't think, well, my family, my parents, kind of very dysfunctional people, as it turns out, when I grew up. And I think I talked about this in another Endgame. But so I didn't really have contact with my parents as adults. Not my choice, but that's just the way it worked out. So I have 4 sons, and so for me, it was really important when everybody got together for the holidays to make it as positive as it can be. And of course, it was 100% positive, right?
Yes. No.
No, but you know, that was kind of my goal, because for me, you know, it wasn't a great situation. And for many years, we had families who gathered together, several different families would come together. And there's also something called Friendsgiving, or, you know, instead of Thanksgiving, where if you don't get together with your family, then there may be a group of friends who you consider to be family if there are issues with your actual family. So these were some of the things. Yeah,
what were you gonna say?
Yeah, that happened here on VRChat. A lot of people got together. They didn't really have a family to go to, and just hung out on Christmas on VRChat.
Oh, how many people came, do you think, to that?
Biscuit went.
Wow, that's really cool. That's awesome. You're able to hang out with other people during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the power. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, for those who doesn't have a family or no one to go to, then they need to spend time with people that they don't know, so they can build a family all together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what did you do, Soul Rider? What did you do over Christmas?
lucky I spend my time with mum and dad and my sister, but she didn't want to come to. My mom's side of the family doesn't want to speak with her because something happened badly, which made her hate her entire family. So she felt upset during Christmas because she couldn't spend time with the entire family. So mom
and was that
she
a
couldn't.
new situation or?
It's been happening for a very long time, but no dice on meeting them. But she still kept vaguely contact with her younger brother, my youngest uncle.
It seems very complex.
Yo, I've got a question for everyone. Because I've got an inkling about the people who actually go on VRChat. So, thumbs up if Christmas is normally a good experience for you, and thumbs down if it's normally negative. Right?
That's a good question.
Well, I'd say neutral for me.
Very good question.
I got a different outlook on Christmas. But it's usually pretty positive.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I saw some negatives as well.
This is very deep, isn't it, Yellow? Like, it's all deep for it here.
Yeah, does anyone want to share who did a thumbs down?
Share Christmas experience or something?
What they meant, why they chose to do thumbs down, I guess, instead of thumbs up, or...
Well, the fun part of Christmas is always, I give a thumbs up because the fun part of Christmas is always the gifts. It's true.
Yeah,
some of us do believe that it's more fun to give than to receive, but some of us is the opposite is true. But regardless, gifts are always the fun part in Christmas.
Yeah, giving gifts out.
Whether you give them or receive them.
Yeah. Do most people go home to family? I guess that's another question that we were wondering, because we were talking about families of origin and like what a family is and those kinds of things. So people might have different definitions of it.
I always celebrate Christmas with my family.
This is too fucking real. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this is not a really good topic for me.
It's too
Yeah.
real.
So I got one.
Yeah.
So, I haven't. So this was actually the first year, 7 years, I've actually been able to go home for Christmas, which was, I mean, for me, it was pretty fun. I got to see the family and everything. Before I had left, spread my wings and left, home and everything like that. Went to the whole Dole world. It was pretty regular, whole Christmas shebang, 9 yards and all that. Now it's like, everyone's adults now. Me and my brother, he's out of the house. He's been out of the house for years. So it was really funny to see how we came into, handling Christmas, because basically for the past 7 years, I've just been like, whatever, man. Like, I'm just going to hang out, treat it like any other day. And either, if I have shit I have to do for my job or anything like that, I'll do that. Or I'll just hang out and get some sleep.
Yeah.
So it was different this year. Yeah, it was really different this year because we got home and my mom and dad, they set up a tree, which we really didn't do before. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, I didn't bring any gifts, and I already told you guys, like, I'm not getting anything. So it was really funny. My parents actually went out and, like, just bought some, like, cardboard boxes and stuff and just set up for underneath it to, like, simulate before, everyone had left. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. We're adults. We don't have to do this anymore. Let's just bust out the wine and have ourselves a good time.
So you guys were, just joking around and stuff like that. Yeah.
But it was positive for you, right?
I mean, so a little bit. I don't really get I don't have a terrible relationship with my family. I don't get along with them, but not in the sense to where it's anything negative or anything like that. It's just we're just not our ideals, everything like that just don't line up. So for me, I have a better time hanging out with my friends on Christmas, or just in general, I have a better time hanging out with all my buddies that I've met over the years, and just chilling out with them and just seeing how they're doing and everything like that. So I mean, when we were there, it was just a lot of it was just us sitting around, having a couple, myself having a couple beers, and them just sort of sitting there like, oh, okay, what do we do? How have you been? A lot of small talk for seven. I've been gone for so long.
Yeah, well, I've noticed that for me too. Like, in for values that don't align and things like that, if there's political differences in a family and things like that, then that can be exactly the same way. People don't want to talk about it, and so then you kind of focus on other things and stuff like that.
I mean, to be fair, it's not anything like politically. It's just, I would say just interests in general. Like, I like this. Oh, I don't like that. I mean, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I like. I don't know.
I was just
Nothing
saying
political.
I was saying in my family, I'm saying that the values kind of that difference in values sometimes can lead to lack of conversation and things like that.
Or difference in value. Yeah. I'm not sure it's difference in values as much as it is a different way of looking at the world. Maybe
that's just they're different in values.
Yeah. But yeah, well, when we get together, the six of us get together. It's very hard to get a word in because everybody wants to talk because we have no shy people.
Today's the 11th anniversary,
and so we use this technique. My oldest son decided. He said, "Okay," and he grabbed a salt shaker and put it out in the middle of the table, and he said, "If people are talking, then and if they have the salt shaker, they're able to talk." And it was kind of a funny thing. But
it's kind of ironic
because
there's other side conversations happening as well. So we should need a virtual salt shaker in here.
it's like the pillow thing from that what you call it? I can't remember what the movie was. Like, whoever has this, they're the only one allowed to talk.
That's right.
Yes.
Right. Maybe it needs to be built in VRChat. I don't know.
Salt shakers. Yes. So cool. Oh my god. Yes, the salt shaker. That's great.
Pillow of permission.
The talk pillow.
Hopefully we can keep it civil though. Maybe we can just But yeah, if you guys do have something, just any kind of thoughts or reactions, just use that emoji. But if you have side conversations, you can go downstairs or something too. Freeman.
Well, the thing is, my family is pretty much is Chinese, and we emigrated to the UK. So Christmas is not a festival we celebrate. But because a lot of our family emigrated to say other countries like say the Netherlands, they're all together. They celebrate, this holiday. So it's kind of weird for me because all my friends celebrate it, but we as a family don't. None of us.
Soul Reader, can you mute your mic?
Oh, sorry. There's another in.
So
none of us celebrate Christmas. I mean, this year, it was just like every other year. We didn't really celebrate. My sister went up to Scotland with her boyfriend, celebrated up there. But this year it was just me and my mum, and we celebrate in our way where we just have a nice big steak together, and that's about it, really.
Yeah.
But the thing is, from what I've thought to my other friends and stuff, I think the older you get, the more you realize it's not about the presents. It's more about getting the whole family together. I think that's probably the real spirit, as they say, of Christmas. But I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
I think family connectedness, getting together, and also that's what it depends on what you mean by family, because if the spirit of the holiday is getting together and feeling connected to people around you, whatever method you choose to do that's like maybe the true spirit of coming home for the holidays, is like the home where you make it kind of thing, I guess, kind of.
Yeah, this conversation's getting a lot harder for me. Okay, so let's drop a bombshell right here. I am the last surviving sibling of my family. And every Christmas, it's just a constant reminder of the accident that took all my other siblings away. So every Christmas, it's just a reminder. That's it. That's what's been for me the past 11 years.
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
I am too. That
so
sounds
I
really
just,
tough.
I just don't like the holiday.
Yeah. So what do you generally do? What do you generally do on Christmas?
Well, this year I took control. Instead of being tripped back to my parents' place because they retired and moved out of the house that I grew up in. And I kept, telling them, like, come out here. Like, you're both retired. We can, you can get a hotel. We can have fun. We can go on a cruise. Let's go on a cruise. No, they wanted me to fly out to their house, and I was like, okay, you know what? Like, you've cut me off from this other side of the family because parents split when I was like 6. I was like, I want to spend probably my first and only Christmas ever with my grandma because she's 90 years old and she lives alone. Like, let me just have this one. That was my Christmas this year. I just drove up and saw my grandma.
That's really that probably meant a lot to her.
It's amazing. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. It was a lot more stress free and more relaxing.
Yeah.
I wasn't constantly reminded of everyone I lost. It was pleasant. That was it. That seems like a good reason to do what you did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's good. It sounds like this one went better, and I'm sorry to hear passive and so giddy. It's really intense. I'm glad that the most recent one was better, though. That's awesome.
Yeah. But I just...
Yeah.
I'm going to check out this conversation.
Like connection. No, but it seems... But yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And it's... Yeah. However you want to... yeah, thanks for sharing stuff. But yeah, it's all about connectedness. I think it's interesting. It's always about just feeling connected to someone, and that feeling, that connectedness is really important. I saw several exclamation points as well. Verana, yes.
Yeah. I guess first of all, sorry to hear that because that was a terrible story. But that got me thinking about something.
I don't want pity. I don't want pity.
All right. That's fair. But it definitely got me thinking about something that I just thought about because it reminded me of a loss that I had in my family, which isn't really, I don't think of it as a sad situation and I think it was only one person, but this one person, like, it was my grandmother, but she was the one that, like, organized our Christmas routine, like, for my whole expanded family. And even though it was only one loss, because she was, like, the central person, I'm just curious if anyone else has, like, a central person for Christmas time, like, because, like, we have an expansive family and we all really get along and stuff like that, but like we lost the person who organized Christmas for us, and so it was hard to organize after that. And it's been I don't even remember how long it's been, but
yeah,
we're always like confused on what to do. Sometimes we're
today's the 11th anniversary. I just gotta go.
All right, Peter.
Bye, Pika. Bye, P.
Oh my God!
Oh, hey guys.
I think
wait.
Can I?
Game show.
It brought up is very interesting because there are people in families who are kind of connectors, who are the organizers, and everybody kind of gathers at, maybe it's a physical place too where they gather, and then when that goes away, and it's interesting because it makes me think, Psych, of our sort of extended family reunion that we hadn't had in a long time. It wasn't related to a holiday, but because someone organized it who's my brother-in-law. But those people who are the connectors can really make a difference, and when that changes, it can really have an impact on how frequently people get together.
Yeah, and it's also the time and the everything that it takes to put it together, and the resources as well, and having a place that's big enough to host everyone, and all those kinds of things. It's like a hard thing, but I think that's why sometimes in families, there's this thing about family reunions, and people don't talk about them that much, or sometimes families have them all the time, or they don't. But it's like there's a thing about planning them. It's it's like there's something helpful about them, I think, in a way. Especially as people grow older. I think as people grow older, than the feeling of coming back. That's what Lyco, I think you said, for Freeman. one of you guys said this about the growing important that it becomes about being with people, not about the gifts and things like that.
I mean, the thing is, he makes a good point because, like, the central person who organizes it. I mean, for my family in Holland, they all go to the grandma's house. But unfortunately, she passed this year as well. So this year, everyone's scattered. As far as I know. I mean, because they've all had kids.
Painful.
Like, pretty much like 6 of them all had kids this year, which is kind of hilarious. But they've got their own families now, so everyone's kind of scattered. So, I mean, that's why my mum has gone over to see her dad, because he's going to be lonely this year.
But I guess families repeat over so many generations that there must be connectors who like come and go in the flow of the family's history or something like that. Probably an evolutionary trait in some levels.
What I think is there's probably like you said, there's probably like a coming and going of them, and then there's probably, I think there seems to be these gap periods when the last one goes, there's like a moment of chaotic scrambling where everyone doesn't know what to do, and eventually somebody steps up as the next connector. But for a little while, it's
right. That's so true, and it's sort of like the passing of the baton. Like that somebody needs to pick it up, but who is going to be that person to be able to do it? And because I think if you set it up, whether it's Christmas or some other time, and you give people an opportunity to gather together, I think a lot of people would, but they wouldn't initiate it necessarily.
Yeah, and the other thing is that when people gather, there's all these conflicts that we talk about and these backgrounds and this complex things of some people like each other, or these fights about these things, but in the end, it's like people still will show up to something that's organized and planned, and they still show up and they still talk, and there's like these dramas and tensions, but people are still showing up together. I think it's
I don't know. The drama thing gets me. I don't get the drama. My family doesn't experience a lot of drama, so. And when we do, it's usually funny. So.
Well, that's a good thing.
Maybe.
Psycho, are you doing?
What? Oh, you want me to tell about my Christmas story or something?
Oh no! I thought you were trying to say something, but I think you can. Yes, you can tell your Christmas story too. Sorry, I wasn't like no, but I just thought your mic activated.
I actually didn't do much this Christmas. I mean, usually my family would like go to other countries or other. What?
Is it because of the...
Hey, Sears, can you mute your microphone?
Oh, sorry. No.
Or are you talking? Sorry, wait, what are you saying?
What?
I couldn't hear what Sears was saying. Sorry, I thought it was background noise. Okay, go ahead,
Are you talking? Okay. Usually my family would usually go to other countries or to a local beach because they can afford to anyway. But this year it was just an ordinary holiday in the house, and in the ordinary holiday. And actually, I was actually quite surprised. I didn't receive much gifts this year. Well, maybe it's because I'm growing up, and I have to start earning my own money, and most of my gifts are money.
Yeah.
Most of the gifts are money.
And C's, what were you saying?
Yeah, C's, what are you saying?
I don't know. C's loves looking at me then.
Or maybe she's AFK right now.
Yeah, that's possible.
Looks AFK to me. Yeah. Well, a lot of times, I mean, if you think about it, if your siblings are spread out all over the place and you don't see them very often, and then you get together with them, what's your experience of that like? I mean, does that tend to...
I mean, I always with my siblings. I'm actually quite the opposite. Me and my brother have a sibling rivalry. So some of us do like to have our siblings around, but some of us has a complicated relationship with our siblings. And sometimes our holiday would be much better without that complication.
But they still get together, right? They still.
Yeah, we all do get together. I think Christmas is actually a huge deal. It's even a much huge deal in my country than in the U.S. So yeah, I think the
It sounds
value
like
of
his family's still in the background right there, so you know.
Yeah, it sounds
No, I'm actually playing at an internet cafe. No, I'm actually playing at an internet cafe.
Okay.
Or a PC bang or some sort. Yeah, where
Just to
you
get
rent.
away from them or what? No.
Wow.
No, because I don't have a proper computer to run VRChat.
Wow.
Like, yeah, like VRChat looks bad on my home computer, and I play most of my games on my console. So yeah.
We've got the dedication right there.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy to hear an internet cafe. Thank you.
I have to go to the pay per hour PCs or something.
Yeah.
You're paying to be here.
Wow. That's
I'm saying, that's the best. But it's 25 cents per hour anyway, so it's not that expensive.
I guess that's fair. Most of us spent 900 to be here.
No, it's nearly 25 cents.
Oh yeah, okay.
Per hour.
But some
Had to
people
buy the
won't
PC.
spend. I'm trying to pressure Eve into getting a VR headset, but
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
I probably
Christmas.
will
Why
eventually
didn't you get
one.
a VR headset?
that's true.
I am
I'm
the real question.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting what I would call avatar pressure.
Also because-
I'm getting. Yeah.
Also because we
And
don't have a
we
PC
had-
to run VR. Oh, go ahead, Eve.
Yeah, well,
sorry.
we're all Mac, so unfortunately we'd
Yeah.
have to get another computer too. So
Hey,
well, that's another.
Yeah,
when the
I'm also on
classic
Mac
comes
as
out.
well, so yeah.
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 But yeah, I guess I mean we just this topic was kind of like we just wanted to have a more casual discussion, honestly, because it's right after Christmas, so we were kind of like trying to figure out whether to host Endgame today or in 2 weeks or in 1 week. I don't know. It's just what we were asking about, all that stuff. But yeah, we I guess does anyone have any other thoughts about like family or anything like that? That comes to mind or that's of interest or anything like that. I like that people come together, and every time we come into VRChat when we're all together, it's like you kind of have that feeling of like, oh, these are my friends and I'm just with them. So it's kind of like you get the holidays are typically family when you go and visit, and it costs a lot of money to travel to each other. So it only happens around special occasions. VR makes instant visitation, basically. So you can develop really close relationships. Seeing people consistently over time, it feels like you're seeing them in VR, and that's how these people have these, I think, virtual families and spend so much time together, and cultural things permeate throughout VRChat, and different communities grow, and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, shit, you got people like meeting up. You got people meeting up for like Christmas stuff. I mean, I did one with a few of my friends in VR. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty nice, man. It's pretty awesome how everything's working out.
Yeah,
It's so
it's
true.
great. Freeman, what were you gonna say, dude?
I was literally what I was about to say. I mean, what do we all want in the future of VR? Really, just it to become so accessible that for people who can't travel, too far away and too expensive, you can, just see them in VR. That's it. I mean, it's just such a great medium. I mean, it's not.
Oh yeah.
It's not as good as you can touch them and hug them, but what's the next best thing?
Yeah.
Really, right now.
So I guess that's a question of where is it going? Is VR gonna become so good that it's like people won't even come home for the holidays as often and things like that?
Yeah,
that might be really.
Yeah. I mean, that might be a thing that could. I mean, the more it goes mainstream, the better. So I mean, this is one of the things that people would actually buy VR for. could, you know, it'll boost. It will just only make VR better, really. You know, the more popular VR gets, the better our experience will get. Simple as that.
Oh yeah.
I did want to ask, like, how many people this year stayed home for the holidays versus how many people would like to next year stay home and just play on VR and meet up with either family or friends? Like, thumbs up if you would stay home, or thumbs down if you would go out with like your family and stuff.
I'm that down.
I'll stay at home. Got no choice really, but
that's actually a pretty even split. Like, how many people would say, you know, hey, we're just gonna stay home and play on VR and hang out with our friends online instead of, you know, let's actually go out and visit with our family.
Yeah.
Well, of course, the only issue there is
we are all
is that
veterans of VR, so
Not me.
but it's a generational thing, and if everybody, it'd be one thing if everybody in the family has VR. Then maybe the need to, you know, to see each other more in person wouldn't be as great, you know.
Or it's more like I think they would still come home for the holidays, but then you could just do that whenever, casually. If your family.
I mean, it is a tool, isn't it? I mean, human beings love finding solutions to problems. I mean, you can never find a solution to being home with your family. You can't, you know, you can't replace that. But you can replace maybe distance or money, you know, the cost. Yeah. I mean, that's it,
interesting.
Really. I don't know.
Ed Verano,
you have. Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, you think that that like the like as people use VR more in general, and I tend to think of this as like the social VR aspect of it, maybe not VR as a whole, but like the social aspects of VR will, like, as families start to use it more and more together, do you think that'll start to hurt the kind of niceness of getting together? Because I think, like, one of the things, at least for like my family and stuff like that, is that we don't get to see each other often, so getting together is just like a great thing, you know. Like, if we get, like, you know, like we talk about like staying home with VR, and then people say, well, eventually maybe families will just meet up in VR and, you know, cover those distances better. Like, well, then you could do it all the time, and then you'd see each other all the time and talk all the time. Would doing something like a holiday be kind of less impactful at that point? Like,
I don't think so.
Yeah. I definitely do not agree with that, because I've been out of the country for a few years, right? From my 7 years of being gone, right? And you think like Skype or like Discord or something like that would help out with closing that distance, right? Because you can, you know, video chat and everything like that. It doesn't at all. And something as like this kind of medium, yes, it'd be nice because, you know, I can go up and like quote unquote hug somebody, right? But it still wouldn't really do the justice of it, right? But I mean, even then, like.
Let me clarify, because I'm not talking about meeting up in VR replacing meeting up in physical space. I mean, like, do you think like meetups in virtual reality will not be as, like, those will lose their meaning? You know, like the virtual meetups will lose their meaning, not the real life meetups. I know that the people in person would definitely be better. I'm just saying, you know, like, if people continue to do the meetups in virtual space, would the virtual space meetups eventually lose their meaning because they can happen so often? You know. And then I guess then that would lead to, would people kind of crave going back to the distance in a way? Like, does the distance make it special?
I don't know. That's actually a really good question. That's actually a really good question.
I think it's sort of. Yeah. I'm sorry. No, I was just going to say that I think all these things are additive, right? So I think meeting up in person has its place, but as you video chat and you're in VR, all these things bring you closer together, and I don't know that they're going to necessarily replace each other, but I think it adds richness to the relationship because you're not just depending on one way to be together.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
Frequency of interactions, I think, is really like VR. You're in the virtual environment. You're like with the person, and so it's like close, and so you get to, you know, have a closer connection. But then when you see each other in real life, that's really the special. Like, and also like what you were saying, Biscuit, about you feel the hug. Like you're not getting the oxytocin. You're not experiencing the same set of stimuli. Now, if we get to a point in the future where you can mimic all of those things.
Yeah, but then we start questioning what reality is as a whole. And then we get to other
The thing is, like,
I'm
to
down
try
for
and
that,
emulate,
man. I'm so down.
to try and emulate that, it's pretty hard. I mean, us humans are designed to be close to each other, like in every sort of way, you know.
Yeah,
So,
being what we perceive
to
as
get
close
to
to
that
each other
point
is just
where
signals in the brain.
yeah, but that's the thing. It will have to get to the point where we literally have probes in our brain.
Yeah,
Make
the next
us
step
well,
is
that's the
haptic
thing.
feedback
And
in VR. So
yeah, I mean
they're
that is
trying to implement
that is a holy grail for VR.
Yeah,
but
and that's coming in the future. That's predicted. Ray Kurzweil, who's done all
It's
these
about the
different
journey
predictions.
there, isn't it?
Yeah, Ray Kurzweil's predicted that we'll have we'll just be able to think and turn it and go into virtual reality, like picking up an image basically, which is going to be interesting. It also weaves in with our evolutionary drives to have families. I mean, why do families exist? It's evolutionary, you know, like we had groups of people trying to survive and all that kind of stuff.
It's not genetics.
We are. We're primates.
Run away from it.
Yes. Yeah. My mentor is a professor in psychology. He's always like, humans are primates. People forget
we are.
that.
We're just we are.
Just because we can make big booms doesn't mean that we're still not animals.
It's true.
It says a human embodying an animal, which is like,
hell yeah.
That's right.
An animal embodying an animal.
Yeah.
That's the thing, you know. Go back far enough, we're just worms, you know, who are just
right.
Want to breed with each other and have kids.
But
that's it. That, you know, fundamentally. But
the technology will breed a new type of. I think actually technology will breed a new type of family potentially, where if everyone in the family is augmented with technology, basically, and they can, you know, they have the deep brain implants and they can actually think and, you know, type to each other automatically and stuff, and that'll be like the next evolution of potentially of, you know, humans or whatever. Because we're gonna make, the thing is that we're also gonna make technology, evolution always the most evolved part creates the next branch or whatever. I'm not a geneticist, but you know, if we create a technology that leads and augments us to create in that direction, then we could create the next. You know,
well,
type of
I just
family.
wanted to say one more thing about family is that it always amazes me when I go into VRChat and people start talking about how close they feel to other people in VRChat and what kind of friendships they've made and how they feel, you know, this sense of connectedness to other people. And so the whole concept of what family is, this sort of network of people who know each other and have a history and they develop history together and they, you know, and they bond basically. I think that's going to increase over time because look at all the bonds here in VRChat. It's pretty amazing to think about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, Verona, what were you gonna say too?
I was actually gonna mention something similar. I was just gonna ask what the like how you define family, because like I guess in some way you could. There's no real boundary to that. So
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like what do you define?
I get
What
what
do
you're
you
saying.
define as
Yeah.
family? Like we all know that like we're all related to each other some way or another, right? Right. So like
That's the term fam has also become
Family is the
trend
basic
among
unit
modern
of
day
the
term.
society, right?
Yeah,
It's
but
like
family
the most
family
basic of
is
basic unit of society. That's what you call them, the social class.
so it's like social organization, but like
no, it's like it's like I don't know. It's like a family is like a small. It's like yeah, exactly. It's like a small organization or a small thing that's blood related.
we're all
It may
blood
not be
related.
big. It
Yeah.
might be not be small. It might be
Traditionally, yeah.
small.
Yeah,
But
I
you
mean, I guess
all work
it's whether-
together to
But
like.
do they have to be blood related? That's not. For example,
I
there's
don't
like
agree.
Yeah, there's
Well, that's
adoption.
the thing. I
first of
mean,
all.
the definition has changed, hasn't it?
Yeah,
marriage,
I mean,
divorce, all that kind of stuff.
I'm closer to my friends than I actually am my blood related family. I mean, hell, every time I go back to my hometown, I actually look forward to seeing my friends than I actually do going home and seeing like my mom and dad, my brother.
I'd be in favor.
There's
of
nothing
I
wrong
would
or
say,
anything there.
I would say
Yeah.
it doesn't dilute how close you are with your family. It's just, you know, it's your family, and then you got your friends, but they're your family as well.
Yeah. This is.
Yeah.
I mean, because I know, if, like my mom and dad, like I would still give them everything I want.
Yeah, like that.
Problem is that what if your friends have a family as well? Not all your friends have the same situation as you do.
Oh, I mean, absolutely, but like, so I see my friends and I talk to them more than I'm able to talk to my parents. So for I could break it down almost weekly. Like I am hanging out on here, and I have my friends calling me more than me being able to call my like mom and dad and everything like that, to be able to say like, hey, how are you doing, or anything like that. I mean, of course, like situations are different. Everything's always weird, right? Because people have different jobs. They have shit going on in their lives that they have to deal with themselves. But I don't know. I just know that whenever I've needed something, not needed something, but when I needed just somebody to just like have my back, I've always had a friend there to come up to me and be like, hey man, like I can't give you much more than like support. And I'm like, okay, cool, dude. I need some more support where we can fucking send it. Other words have been like family. They're just like, oh, okay, no, I don't know how you're gonna do that. I'm like, thanks for the encouragement. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Well, also the other thing is that just because you're related to someone doesn't mean that that person is good for you, or that you're going to be able to form a bond with them.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that's why people wind up not talking to each other, and it's a sad situation when that happens. But sometimes it's not all bad that happens, because sometimes people can be toxic and difficult to deal with and kind of drag you down. And if those people happen to be in your family, which is a very sad thing, then that's the reality, and maybe you do get support. And I'm not saying this is true for you, Biscuit Fister, but I'm just saying this is, if you're in that situation, then it's a very healthy thing to turn to people who can give you support and, connectedness. And it's not always going to come from the family.
Or the blood related. Yeah, it can come from all these different sources. Yeah.
Hey, Eve.
So, I mean, I guess a little bit more context on my end. I come from a I come from a military family. I'm in. My brother was in. Mom and dad, and uncles, everybody. All of us have been in. So we got a much different aspect when it comes to everything. So when it comes down to like being gone away or anything like that, it's so weird. It's always super weird, because like I'll hear my brother. I'm so sorry. Like my friends and everything like that, and they talk about like, oh yeah, hey, we did this, blah blah. I'm just like, oh yeah, I haven't seen my mom and dad in like 3 years, and all we did is we came home and we ate some popcorn, watched TV, and we looked at each other like, oh, how you doing? But but on the other hand, like for like a non military family, it's like it's a lot different. It's like, oh, you've been gone for a year. Holy shit, how are you?
Yeah. Your family has a different experience of things.
It's so weird.
And like, you were also gonna say something too.
Yeah, I was gonna say something to
Eve.
Hey Eve, shouldn't Christmas be used as a time of intervention if there's ever any sort of rivalry? Like, it's true that we all have toxic family members all over, but sometimes you can use Christmas as a time where you could try to talk it out or something.
Absolutely. I know. I think that's very true. And I think it's very hard. This is one of those times, and some of you may disagree with me, but I think it's hard if you're going to try to do that, to work through a kind of complicated issue that you might have with somebody. I think it's very hard to do that without being in person and seeing the person. Now that just may be my generation or my perspective, but I think but you can use that time to, people are going to gather together to work through issues, and that's sort of the ideal. That's what we hope would happen if there are problems.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Any other thoughts on, we're kind of at the end, but any other thoughts on, like, I don't know, about the holidays or anything that you thought we might talk about that we didn't, or
Okay, yeah, I mean, for you, even sight. I mean, what is your Christmas like tradition that you always do? Surely you got one. I mean, get all the family together. All four brothers. How's it going?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We don't really celebrate
For
Christmas
us,
either.
the big actually we don't really celebrate Christmas because we're not Christian.
We used to.
But
We used to go to.
Are you Protestant or atheist?
We used to
No,
go to
we're
Protestant
Jewish.
What kind of
Christian's
meeting?
house. Yeah.
But our big holiday of when everybody gets together for sure is Thanksgiving, interestingly, and that's a time. And Cy can tell you a lot of interesting things happen over our Thanksgivings. But and one tradition. This sounds kind of trite, but it's one thing we do is we go around the table at Thanksgiving and we talk about the things that we're grateful for, which sounds a little bit trite. But honestly, it's incredible what sort of things are expressed in that process of going around the table, and that's a tradition that I really like, in addition to massive amounts of eating.
I mean, no, that's a great thing, in my opinion.
Go get your headset on.
You lay it all out there, isn't it? That's the great thing about it.
Yeah, I mean, things that, if you do that in a kind of a format where everyone can
play without VR. It's not. Can't do it.
I can't work on
terrible.
videos
I did it once.
normally say, actually.
Oh man.
It's because.
Oh, sorry.
You can't be someone's boyfriend for money.
What they
And-
think.
Exactly.
So that's.
And even if it's not explicit,
Is Ghoster's camera freaking out for anyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Serious?
Yeah.
Okay. That was funny. I was like the whole time. Okay, yeah. No, but yeah. The positives. Yeah, there's a lot of positives as well, and coming together and having those experiences. Yeah. And I'm glad. I hope that VRChat. I hope VR can help people have that who don't as much. For me, it's nice because I can just. I thought I was going to be able to just put on VR and escape my family, but now my family's followed me into VR. So
Well, it's too late for that.
so we need VR. We need VR headsets in VRChat, and I can be in my VR, and you're like, sorry.
As I often tell Psych, I can nag in VR just as well as in real life, Chasing you from one world to the next. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, I guess that's a good note to wrap things up. Unless anyone has any last thoughts or anything like that.
Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Thank you.
Happy New. Oh, also, New Year's is coming up, and Endgame has a huge advertisement that we put in Times Square. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, nice.
Check it out. And
Wait, did I hear
yeah, there's lots of, but people are making posters all over, so it's very exciting.
Oh, hell yeah.
There's like a ton of posters, custom posters in Times Square that are going to be up. Yes. It's been awesome. It's really exciting to see all the different posters. So, but yeah, in Times Square is going to be awesome. But yeah, thanks for coming out. Yeah, I'm glad we had an episode tonight because we were going to wait 2 weeks, but yeah. Yeah, we need to take a group photo, so a family photo in front of the. Where should we do it, Ghoster?
In front of the fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, fireplace. Okay.
Yes, yes, by the fire, please.
Wait, the fireplace is right here.
Over here.
It's right on my screen.
Idea. Or actually, better yet, in front of the tree.
In front of the fireplace.
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay,
hell yeah.
fireplace or tree. Yes, that's good. That's good.
Oh shoot.
Then there's not
My
as many
full body
obstacles.
died, or I'd get on the ground. I don't charge my shit like I should.
I always stand above a fox because perfect height.
I have no idea where I'm supposed to stand.
I think that's good.
Anywhere you want.
I think that's good.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay.
Is my mouth open?
No, family. I don't know. Family on tree. So we should.
Is my mouth open? Fuck. Is it open?
Stream.
How about now?
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Happy holidays. Sound good?
No.
Yes? No?
Okay. Keep closing after you speaking.
Alright. Happy holidays on 3, 2, 1.
Happy holidays! Yeah, yeah. We did it.
Woo! That's it.
It's a wrap.
That...
I hope that was
really
a
interesting
transfer
Endgame.
you on.
Oh, I loved it. It was fun.
Okay.
Hey, Eve.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Did you know that a lot of Christmas songs are made by Jews?
You know that. Very much so. People like
Let's
Irving
see.
Berlin.
I can't believe you unfriended me, Ghoster, you
wrote a lot of
bastard.
songs.
Just Ghoster.
Yeah,
So,
kind of funny.
No, don't you fucking lie to me. I know that voice anywhere.
Just Ghoster. I don't know
Why do you do that
who is
for?
this song called
I
Ghoster?
can never love you. I can never love you again.
1 sec, let me end the stream real quick.
Never. Oh shit. Immediately going.